Hello friends, Matt here to discuss a very fascinating and often asked question, but probably not asked often enough. What is the meaning of life? I find a lot of times there's some vague speculation about this. Oftentimes people will dismiss it and say, well, there is no meaning, and that's it. Not a lot of really critical thought goes into it. Let's start with looking at the meanings of the words. We say, what is the meaning of life? So first of all, meaning. We say that something has meaning if it points to something beyond itself, like the word dog points beyond just the word to a thing, an actual dog, or to an idea, the idea that we have of a dog. Okay, so meaning means something beyond, can mean something beyond what is immediately in front of us. The word life refers to, let's take it in personally, my life, or your life. The first thing to notice about your life is that you exist. Now, you didn't have to exist. If you had to exist, then you would always exist. But there was a time when you were not, and there's a time when you will die, but you do exist and you have life. That means that existence was brought about by something. Your existence also is the fundamental good. It's the first good upon which all the other goods are based. You couldn't have any of the other goods like health and intelligence without the first good of existence. Now, take a little sidetrack. What is love? Love is willing the good of the other. And so your good is to exist. God brought about your existence. That means that he loves you. So the fact that you exist means that God loves you. That's the meaning of your life. The meaning of life is that God loves you. And I realize most people probably mean something more like, what is my purpose in life? What am I supposed to do? Why am I here? And to this, we actually get a pretty clear answer from the church. And there are a bunch of ways of putting this, and they all mean essentially the same thing. But maybe one of them will stick out. You see, your very self is a gift. God gives you your existence, he gives you yourself as a gift, so then we are a gift, and we are meant to be gift for others. In order to do that, we are called to become the best version of ourselves, as Matthew Kelly puts it, to reach our full potential as human beings. We can't give ourselves away fully unless we have reached our full potential. I may want to give myself away, but I'm consumed with selfishness or greed. And so I am called to be a saint. We all are. And it's in this way, by reaching our full potential, by being saints, that we will experience true and deep happiness and joy. We are called to be happy and joyful and fully alive. One spiritual writer, Irenaeus of Lyon, wrote it this way: the glory of God is a human being fully alive, and we are called to be fully alive. That's the meaning of our lives. And then in that way, we can achieve true union with God. One important philosophical point here: materialism is the philosophy that only material exists. Nothing exists outside of just atoms and energy and the physical world. If that philosophy is true, then life ultimately has no meaning, because meaning is not a physical thing. You can't look at meaning through a telescope, and you can't detect it with some apparatus. Any attempt to create meaning or make some meaning that we want is ultimately subjective, and we're just fooling ourselves. It's not an actual part of reality. Bertrand Russell put it well. He said this: that man is the product of causes which had no provision of the end they were achieving. That is, his origin, his growth, his hopes and fears, his loves and his beliefs are but the outcome of accidental collocations of atoms. That no fire, no heroism, no intensity of thought and feeling can preserve an individual life beyond the grave. That all the labors of the ages, all the devotion, all the inspiration, all the noonday brightness of human genius are destined to extinction in the vast death of the solar system, and that the whole temple of man's achievement must inevitably be buried beneath the debris of a universe in ruins. Pretty bleak. But the very fact that we can ask what is the meaning of life implies that there is a meaning. If there was no meaning, then we wouldn't even be able to ask the question. If there was no such thing as light, we wouldn't be asking, why is it dark? And so the meaning of life has more to do with who we become than what we actually do. It's more of an interior thing than an exterior thing. But of course, the interior will manifest itself in the exterior. And we become who we are by the things that we do. If then you reach your full potential, and you are able to make of yourself a gift of love to God and to the world, then everything else you do will be better, because it'll be done by somebody who loves, and it'll be done from love. So all the individual actions of everybody will be different based on personality and giftedness, talents, but we are all called to be saints, to be loved and to give love. We came from love, and then it is love that we are to pour into the world. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell to receive notifications whenever I post a new video.